All right, people. All right, what's up? This is Jerry. This is Simply Cyber, and this is 5 cyber attacks that will definitely happen in the metaverse. I will be presenting in the metaverse. That's the metaverse right there. That's me sitting down with the blue jacket and me standing up. That's an interesting thing I hadn't considered. You can have multiple iterations of yourself simultaneously in the room. It's Michael Keaton multiplicity all over again. Now, let me know if you can't hear me. I've got a lot of audio, video stuff going on. It's very, very complicated. You can see Base is sitting there right next to me. I will be going live in a minute. Give me some feedback really quick on chat. I can do this during the stream for you who will not be, if you will be attending via live YouTube or LinkedIn. Do you like this look, or would you prefer I take chat off the screen? This is what it looks like. Thank you, Carrie. This is what it looks like right now. And then with chat gone, it gets a little bigger. Okay. So it's a little bigger without chat, or I can leave it with chat and we can go there right now. Okay. I have some fears about some share screen. So let me know, Poner Joe, let me know. Do you like it? Get rid of chat. Just Ben says, all right, without chat. Okay. All right, guys. So we're doing it without chat. Thank you so much for being here today. This is brand new for me, one of a kind. Base is sitting right next to me in the metaverse with the black shirt. I threw a dog in there just for kicks. People are starting to pile in. We will see what happens. I'm going to don the headgear in a minute, but I wanted to welcome you into chat. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to join the live stream in the virtual reality room that I built for this presentation, look at the pinned chat. Look at the pinned chat on YouTube. There is a link that will take you directly there. You do have to sign up for Spatial. It's absolutely free. You do not need VR headset. You can do it on your phone, your iPad, your Android, your tablet, your workstation, your laptop, your desktop. You know what? If you can run it on a mainframe, you can do it. Okay. So not only IT, if you want to get in there, whatever you guys want, you're certainly welcome to watch it on YouTube and LinkedIn. But I think the real fun experience would be dropping in and seeing what's up. So I'm going to step over to the, I'm going to have the headset on and be speaking like this. See me on stream because I would look ridiculous, but I will be talking into this microphone. So you will hear me on chat and you will see the overall stream right here. Okay. So let's join. I'm going to go ahead and get my headset on. Thank you, everybody. The plan is to go through, give the talk, do Q&A. I won't be able to see chat. I do want to give appreciation and shout out to Grayson and Callan and my beautiful wife who are helping monitor the stream to make sure that if there's any problems on the YouTube, LinkedIn side, that I be made aware, because I'm going to have it on. I literally won't be able to see or hear anything except in virtuals. So let me drop on my headset here and I'll see you guys in there. Hey chat, let me know, is the music too loud? Let me know. Okay, let's do it. I'm dropping into the matrix here. I have a helmet on. I can't see anything. Let's see what's up. I see Mac. Here I am. There's Base. Thank you, Base, for being here today. What's up? Okay. Now you can, if you are on keyboard, laptop, whatever, if you have access to your keys, you can press like 1, 2, 3, 4 and do things to kind of interact. There you go, Base. Feel it. Feel it, Base. All right, this is good. Not only IT, what's up? Good to see you over there. How you doing, my friend? Who else we got? Stella's in the house. Poner Joe, front and center, man. What's up, Poner Joe? Nice jacket. I like that. Mac here. Louise, my man. No names in the house. Stella. Reza, very nice, very nice. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Now, you should be able to... hold on. Give me 1 second. There's a way to like allow you guys to talk, and then I can mute you when I start the presentation, so let me do that. Let's see. Ready? I'm going to unmute everybody here. If you want to, no pressure. All right. You guys, I probably should turn the camera on so you can see me how absurd this looks. Is it this? Yes. Okay, cool. All right. How we doing on time? Base, can you hear me? Can you talk to me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you tell me?
Yeah, you got 2 minutes.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. This is awesome. This is great. Here, let me get rid of this. Get rid of this sticky note in front of you so you can see Reza. Okay. Now it is going to look a little weird with my hand there, right? That probably looks janky, but I need it to be able to talk into the microphone. All right. Now I know they're playing some music on the restream, but okay, I'm peeking through and I can see what's going on. All right, let me do this. Thank you for being here. I genuinely appreciate it. Oh man, this is cool. All right. Is it time base?
Yep.
All right. Let me get started. All right. Please take your seats. Take your seats, right? Virtual, whatever you want. All right, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Let me go ahead and actually mute all participants. That way. Actually, you know what? Just as a social experiment, I won't mute everybody, and we'll just see what's up. If you have questions, just feel free to ask them if you're here with me live. Thank you for coming. My name is Gerald Auger, and this is a Metaverse talk on the Metaverse. I thought it would be really appropriate, really meta to do this. I want to talk about 5 cyber attacks that will absolutely, definitely happen in the Metaverse. I've been doing a lot of studying lately as I get ready for a talk at Black Hat or a panel at Black Hat, and just a lot of interesting things. So today, what we're going to be going through is my agenda, right? So I'm going to talk briefly about the Metaverse, what it is, what it isn't, just so we can level set a little bit and be on the same page as we begin to talk about that. Then I'll go through what I think are reasons for the attack. I mean, this might seem fairly obvious, but there's some non-trivial, novel type attacks that really lend themselves to the Metaverse. That is, pretty interesting. Then I will go through 5 actual cyber attacks. Some of these are, plays on classics. Some of these are relatively new, and it's just, really because of the newness and the lack of legislation, regulation, standards, lessons learned, anything of the Metaverse. So let's go into it really quick. What is the Metaverse? So first and foremost, some of you may be familiar with Second Life, right? Which is kind of one of the first, Metaverse-ish environments for, doing this. But essentially, it is a cyber realm that people can interact, conduct commerce, socialize, educate, politics, the works, right? So basically, it's real life, but simulated in an environment. Now, we are all in VR right now, so we are experiencing this. It's that intersection between cyber and physical. And it's not something as basic as like paying your taxes online, but some people could argue that's that. But the VR world really is the full Monty of the metaverse. Also, when we talk metaverse, a lot of people give consideration to augmented reality. Now, augmented reality is kind of like Google Glass, if you guys remember that. It's the overlay of information on reality, and that's actually a much more difficult problem to solve than virtual reality, because in VR you can simulate everything. In AR, you have to account for spatial dimensions and stuff. Plus, there's actually a lot of privacy concerns in AR because you're able to pump what you're seeing, what you're hearing in the real world, potentially to big tech, which is a problem. Now, another thing that's critically important, and the reason that metaverse is likely going to take off as far as like the next generation of like our kids will basically, depending on how old you are, I'm 40, so my kids will grow up native to metaverse. And I will grow up kind of awkwardly trying to use metaverse as a late adopter. So think about like your grandparents using computers and technology. They do use them, but they do have some challenges with them as well. The reason that the metaverse is so popular, and we'll talk about this quite a bit too, is NFTs and crypto. So the fact that there's real money being pumped into the metaverse, real money, right? So like just for example, the three biggest platforms, Decentraland, what are the other two? Sandbox, and then actually Axie Infinity, which is kind of surprising because that just got attacked recently. It are over 800. The whole industry is $800 billion, and those three are kind of the top runners. So we're talking real cash money up in this space. So obviously, with that type of adoption and that type of money, threat actors are going to be interested. Now, another couple pieces about why you would attack the metaverse. One, it's all brand new, right? So like there aren't standards, there's interoperability issues. Not everybody's using the same protocols, the same tech stack. Even the blockchains that people use for commerce aren't standardized. There could be, there's different kind of Ethereum blockchains depending on which one. There's the Solana. So things aren't standardized yet. Also, the technology, and this is actually my fourth attack, but the technology is relatively nascent in that they're just developing it. And if you guys remember the way that like tech was developed in the 70s, 80s, 90s, security wasn't really baked in. It was more about functionality, first to market. There's tons of money in this space, and basically first market movers advantage is absolutely huge. Okay, so let's get into some of the attacks. I think you guys get the metaverse bit. One other thing, because this won't come up in the attacks, but I think it's critically important to discuss, and I'd actually be interested in a discussion later on if anyone's interested in having it. One of the curious things about the metaverse is that you don't need, what's up, BSEC? You don't need physical VR hardware in order to access it, right? We thought it was exclusive, a $300 piece of hardware from Oculus, right? So you start introducing kind of this digital divide where not only do you need access to internet, because that's how you access the metaverse, but you also need access to hardware in order to be able to access that. And that becomes very difficult. So only first world, thriving economies, et cetera, are going to be able to access that, which is going to leave behind third world countries. Now, you could make the argument that countries like Ghana, for example, have an incredibly effective high bandwidth internet, which is why they do all those romance scams. But they have high speed internet, so maybe they wouldn't be left behind as much as is predicted. So let's get into the attacks. My very first attack, and this one may come as no surprise, but I'd be curious. It's a play on business email compromise. So if you think for a minute, or let's level set, business email compromise is when a threat actor convinces a business, usually by faking being the CEO or getting into the bank account of a CEO or something like that, and sending a request to the finance department to move money out. As much as ransomware is talked about, and as much as ransomware is like a multi-billion-dollar industry, business email compromise is actually the second leading most expensive cyber crime. It is absolutely gangbusters. And it's there's relatively easy ways to actually execute business email compromise. So there's no wonder that threat actors are going to want to continue to do this as much as they can and make as much money as they can. Well, in the metaverse, I think that this is going to be one of the first and foremost attacks that we see. And I called it here business avatar compromise. So I'm up here giving this talk, right? And you can hear my voice, and that's fine. And you can see my name above my head. But a couple interesting things. If you get my credentials, you can log in as me, just like if you get the CEO's inbox, you can send an email as the CEO. Now, there's nothing stopping you from generating this same exact avatar. It's just pixels and bytes and bits, right? It's not anything unique. There is, I'll give Dustin Childs credit for this. He coined this the other day. I am not a non-fungible avatar. Now, if we did get there, if we did use NFT for a reason other than ridiculous apes, and actually had a purpose with it, we could do non-fungible avatars and have some type of unique identifier that is irrevocable or impossible to fake that would identify me as me. But we're a long way from that. So I suspect as we start, Meta's pushing in this direction of like, let's have virtual meetings and let's do virtual business and workspaces, and you can work remote from home, but you got to be in the virtual office 3 days a week. Well, as we start doing that, you can easily imagine the CEO's avatar getting compromised, either by just replication or in their account and moving up. We are already seeing actual attacks. This is documented attacks where threat actors are getting in to Microsoft Teams through the Office 365 instance and starting a Teams meeting with someone from finance, and they'll have a still image of the CEO or whatever, and then they'll turn their camera off and they'll say, hey, I'm having trouble with my camera and microphone. There's issues, but I don't have time to mess with this. It must be bandwidth issues. I'm at the airport. I'm about to get on a plane. Classic business email compromise attack, right? About to get on a plane. This is super urgent. Go ahead and transfer the money to XYZ. No big deal. That's what this business avatar business looks like. And like I said, I could see it being quite successful. All right, my next attack, digital asset theft. Now, if you think of the first attack as I did, or I just talked about right now, as business email compromise, that is attacking the business. Now, you'd want to attack the business, obviously, because they have the money, right? It's worth more for your criminal time to invest attacking a business because you get a higher payday. But you can just as easily target individuals, especially people with high net worth, right? Celebrities, et cetera, things like that. So this is kind of a play on attacking the individual. Now, digital asset theft, we are seeing this already quite rapidly with NFTs and stolen NFTs. Famously, just recently, Seth Green owned one of those Bored Ape Yacht Club apes NFTs worth a couple $100,000. And someone just snatched it right out of his digital wallet, or tricked him in some way. These assets have real value in the real world. Real people are spending real money on these digital assets, so it becomes very appealing to rip someone off. And as easy, or if you think about, a business will invest in protecting cybersecurity, but we as individuals, we make a best effort. We try to, right? But we're not as good as an enterprise. We don't have 24/7 SOCs monitoring our personal assets. And it's very, very easy to trick someone. And I'll just give you a real tangible example in case you guys haven't messed around with NFTs. You need a digital wallet to hold an NFT, right? Or to hold any kind of crypto asset. The digital wallet has a unique identifier on the blockchain. That's how you take money into your wallet or out of your wallet, or NFTs. Anyone can, like my wallet is a public value. It's known, right? I have the access to it. No one else does, but it's a public value. It has to be so people can send me stuff. Nothing stops anyone from sending an NFT to me right now. You might be like, why would they do that? Listen, I've had 2 NFTs sent to me already that I didn't ask for, I didn't know anything about, and it was basically a fishing hook to tell me to go somewhere else. Now, I was kind of hip to the game, so I didn't do anything of it. But if you're kind of a novice and you get this crypto wallet, and all of a sudden you get an NFT in your wallet, you might think, oh, geez, like this is going to go to the moon, right? What do I do with this NFT? And you might not think twice about it because it's in your wallet. You didn't put it there. And think about the physical correlation. our wallets, our purses, our clutches, ladies, you don't hand it to someone. You don't allow someone to stick something in it. So when you translate the way that we physically represent and think about our personal wallets and clutches and purses and stuff, it doesn't translate directly into the metaverse because anyone can put anything into your wallet and trick you, right? So that's one way to do it. Of course, there's like phishing links and click links and accidentally sharing, just giving away your digital assets. That can certainly happen, but we're already seeing this attack right now, and there's no reason to think as more people adopt the metaverse and get into it that this attack wouldn't increase tenfold. All right, another attack number 3. Now this one, I put the hype train for cyber insecurity. I know they do like in DJ BSEC. I know they do love running the hype train. So what's the hype? Okay, here's the thing: people don't really understand the metaverse and the NFTs and all of that, but it's very like mainstream. It's very like, ooh, this is sexy. This is right around the corner, right? So with the hype train, there's a lot of pump and dump scams. Now, this is straight fraud. This is a 2022 riff on a 1922 scam or bait, right? The idea is classic pump and dump, right? I don't know if you guys all saw Boiler Room or Wolf of Wall Street. So I've got some asset that's worth trash, right? But it's worth trash. But if I can convince other people that it's worth something, I can sell it to them for trash. Now, with the hype train, we've started to see this, and this will be an attack that will have significant impact as things get more ramped up in the metaverse. Celebrity endorsement. Hey, give me a celebrity. I'm blanking, but let me think of like whatever, Obama, right? President Obama or Michelle Obama. Let's go with Michelle. Okay. Or Oprah. Let's do Oprah since Oprah emotes for chat. Okay. For a YouTube stream. Okay. So listen, I send Oprah some NFTs and I'm like, hey, Oprah, like, again, I can just push them into her wallet. So no big deal. Hey, Oprah, here's some NFTs with, some value, right? And a Bitcoin or whatever. Just wanting to let you know that you were super inspiring to me as I made my journey into like the metaverse. Thank you so much, Oprah. Like, please take this as a token of my appreciation. By the way, it's going to the moon or whatever. So somehow you trick or dupe or simulate using that business avatar compromise I mentioned earlier, where you're a fake Oprah, right? But you walking around, you get a crypto, right? And you hype it up and people start buying it and it reaches a tipping point. We see this all the time in NFT projects. Many of them, and I flip out about this on the daily cyber threat briefing almost every single morning that there's an NFT story. There is massive scams going on with the pump and dump hype. So there's no reason to think as, real estate, which by the way is another couple $100 million economy within the metaverse, buying virtual real estate, virtual boats, virtual land. If I have a piece of property, quote unquote, or a neighborhood in the metaverse and I'm trying to sell basically virtual lots in my neighborhood, you know what would be advantageous? Hyping the crap out of it. And whether or not it's actually got any value, whether or not there's ever going to be infrastructure, quote unquote, infrastructure ever built in that neighborhood doesn't matter. All that matters is I'm cashing out people who are basically being duped into buying crap. Again, all you have to really do is look back at what has worked in the past and put a Web 3.0 spin on it. And this will definitely happen. My 4th attack. This one's for all my engineers, okay? This is for my nerd brethren. Now, I put denial of service. Hold on, where is it? Denial of service, technical exploitation. Okay, so this one's getting a little bit closer to the computer science bone in the metaverse. But check it out. In order to access the metaverse, right, if you're going ham on it, you need VR headsets, right? And that's going to become more and more mainstream, right? Meta, Facebook, they want you up in their metaverse. They lost $10 billion, this is fact, in 2021 on, what the hell? Oh, hold on, I just lost something. Okay, I'm good. It was my hand. All right. So Meta lost $10 billion in 2021 due to investments of into the metaverse, right? What's up, BSEC? I'm good. Thank you. So they're subsidizing these headsets. Dude, the Oculus Quest 2 is $300. Do you really think this futuristic piece of Star Trek gear is $300 and they make a profit margin on it? Hell no. This thing's way more expensive, but it will only take effect if the network being the number of people using it, reaches a tipping point where if you don't have one, you're on the outside looking in, right? So they're on the hype train themselves of getting everybody into it. But like I mentioned on the intro, there are really not defined standards. There's interoperability issues. There is a protocol, I believe it's called OpenRX or Spatial RX. I think it's OpenRX or XR, OpenXR, that Meta, Microsoft HoloLens, and Steam VR all subscribe to and use. And they are kind of, big leaders, front runners in the space, but it's not the only protocol standard. So think back to like Novell and Active Directory, right? Or some of these obscure network topologies that we never see anymore, or protocols at the network layer we don't really see anymore. They just went the wayside because, IP kind of, reigned supreme, or TCP reigned supreme. So we're still in that early adoption phase where people are trying to figure out what's going on. But because of all these protocols, because of this interoperability, there is a ton of opportunity for vulnerabilities and attack surface. The attack surface is amplified because of all the different tech. Also, I want to point out, I say this on the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing all the time, threat actors, their time is worth money. So they spend a lot of time working on malware and looking for software exploitations on Microsoft Windows platforms. Why? They do it because that has the largest footprint in the world. So if I spend a couple hours or a couple weeks developing security exploits and finding vulnerabilities for Microsoft Windows, I can get massive return on my investment. I can scale the crap out of it because it's going to work in most places. If I work on Solaris, that's not going to really get me too far, right? Now, there are examples of sophisticated threat actors doing very targeted missions, and I'm not talking about that. But with something like this, you can bet the Oculus Quest, which is definitely one of the wider mainstream pieces of hardware out there, runs on Android. We see Android malware in the Google Play Store all the time. So people are looking at it. It is an obvious next step to look for security vulnerabilities and software exploitation opportunities in the Oculus headset operating system. Now, why would you want to do that? Think about this for a second. I put denial of service on the slide here. Why, Jerry? Well, here's why. If being in the metaverse is how you start to go to school, like Ready Player One, or how you interact, how you go to class, right? How you go to work, right? The way Zuckerberg wants it, we go to digital work all the time. If I do a denial of service attack on your headset, or I exploit it in some way and do a ransomware where you have to pay me whatever, give me your NFT, give me $100, send me a $500 Best Buy gift card. I don't care what it is. The point is, if I exploit it and prevent you from having access to it, you no longer have access to the metaverse. Technically, right? There's a couple of workarounds and stuff like that, but it's not that experience that we are gravitating and kind of the snow globe is settling on, right? So denial of service attacks on that headset, totally a reasonable idea, right? My next one isn't that. Wait, hold on. Let me see what my next attack is, because I have another thought around exploitation. Okay, it's integrity. So real quick also, well, actually, you know what? Let's go to attack 5, because this works too. Data integrity compromise. Now, if you've been in cybersecurity for a minute, which is about how long you're in it before someone tells you about the CIA triad, then you know that integrity is part of the triad, but it never gets the respect it deserves. Never. It's like the Rodney Dangerfield of security objectives. Confidentiality, everybody's on that. Availability, BSEC and the IT people, they're all up in that space, right? But integrity kind of gets hosed. Now, in the metaverse, we are believing what we are seeing. Right now, in this talk, there are two of me. I am sitting right over there so the YouTube audience can see this talk, and I'm up here speaking, right? So now you're beginning to change the paradigm of what is quote unquote real. And we are making a lot of efforts to translate our actual physical understanding of the physical world directly into the metaverse. Right now, all of us have, essentially human, avatars, and we're sitting in a amphitheater, very, very similar to reality. But there's no reason that I couldn't be a mailbox and we could be floating in a cloud. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to be constrained to the physical realities of the physical world, but we choose to do that for adoption. Now, with the integrity compromise, if they were able to exploit the hardware, right? If they're able to exploit the hardware, and this goes for augmented reality as well, I want to point out, if they're able to exploit the hardware, then we can start having issues where I don't see BSEC, for example, or I see the CEO of the company even though they're not there, or if I'm using augmented reality for like Google directions and I'm driving and it gets compromised, maybe that information says take a left instead of taking a right. And I'm able to guide my victim directly to me instead of them going safely to their destination. Again, with integrity, we get into, because encryption is so critical for the cryptocurrency and the NFT space within the metaverse, which is basically the financial underpinning of why the metaverse is actually going to get widespread adoption, right? If it was just a game, it wouldn't get, it's the way I like to think about the metaverse, guys, is it's basically the same way the internet was in the 90s, right? Y'all remember the kid on the skateboard and the information superhighway? The way that the internet changed the way that we do everything in our society, I predict that the metaverse is going to do that. And I know it seems silly now because we're all like, cartoon looking characters and stuff, but all of the underpinnings in there and the money is being spent substantially underneath it. So with that integrity, it does get into the idea of the integrity of the information that you're looking at and believing, and then obviously making financial transactions on, right? If you pull out your wallet in the real world and take out $5 and pay for some good or service, you're holding that $5. You know that you've given it to the shopkeeper and they've given you your change back, right? In the metaverse, you can't physically, tangibly touch it. You're not going to read a wallet ID. You know what I mean? It's like 128 characters. You might recognize the last two characters just to make sure it's your wallet. But for the most part, these can be, you can't pay, you might miss it, not pay attention. Someone swaps out the values of the two wallets, right? So these integrity compromises, I think, are going to be very, very germane. And actually, of all the ones I've talked about, one of the more difficult ones to really get your arms around, because integrity typically is, unless it's just a straight, flat out, hey, Chris. So unless it's a straight out change in like where money's going and you saw the money not actually arrive. But again, there'd be a translation into the physical world. You would check it, right? So that's how I see the 5 attacks that are absolutely going to happen. Again, that business avatar one, we're already seeing threat actors do that type of stuff in different ways. Now, I do want to pump this for just a second. Part of the reason that I'm giving this talk today is because on Wednesday in Las Vegas, I will be at Black Hat, and I will be doing a live stream panel presented by Trend Micro. I just found out today that you cannot physically attend for reasons, but it will be streamed live. And I have worked with them in order to have the stream pushed to the Simply Cyber channel. So if you're watching this right now, not in VR, if you're watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn, then you will be able to attend it. And if you enjoyed talking about the metaverse, Sally, Kevin, and Dustin are all very, very seasoned cybersecurity professionals with a very diverse background from my own. And we had a pre-screen call and kind of talked about some of our ideas and philosophies and worldviews. And I found it very, very interesting. So I'm actually really excited. This particular talk, I didn't get into it today, but there are massive, and guys, when I say massive, I want to bold it and underline it. And because it's the metaverse, if I had access to like a marker, I'd write it and underline it and stuff like that. But there are massive concerns, areas of discussion that are warranted around privacy. There is so much data being collected. You've got biometric data, which, by the way, you can see argued around the business avatar compromise issue of uniquely identifying someone. Well, yeah, we can take their vitals with the headset. We can monitor them, and we could tell that is in fact Jerry wearing the headset. Yeah, that's fine, and that's a great use case. Everybody wins, puppy dogs and rainbows. But that information can also be weaponized, right? You know how long I looked at that TikTok video. Now you know how I physically reacted to it, right? You knew if my body temperature went up or down. You knew if my head jerked back because I was, disturbed by the images on the picture, right? So I won't get into all that now. I am hoping that we do get into privacy in the panel and a couple other talks, but that's what I really wanted to share with y'all. So hopefully you can join. All right, so now I'm going to do my best to open it for. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, if you want to clap, just move your hands together, or I think you could press like 2, 1. Here, I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Thank you very much. Let me try to unmute everybody and see if we can do a Q&A real quick. All right. Or Base, can you figure it out? Hold on.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. It's settings. Environment set. No. Actually, you know what? It's this. The only way I found to do it is I have to click on every single human. Hold on one second. Does anybody have a question? Pop and lock. I love it. I do want to. I'm going to unmute everybody. Okay, get ready. One at a time. I would love to have a conversation.
This was cool.
Give me 1 second to unmute everybody. It's so stupid that there isn't an unmute all button. There's a mute all button. Okay, cool. So Guy Hacker, not only IT. Okay, who's got a question? Anyone? You can raise your hand or you can jump up and down or you can pop and lock and I'll know that you got a question. Really? No questions. All right. That's too bad. I was loving it. All right, cool. All right, let me look at Restream. All right, I see that. Is that, hold on 1 second. I see someone jumping.
Hello.
Hello, Guy Hacker. What's up, man?
Yeah, good. I have a question. Do you think there will be malware in the metaverse?
Malware in the metaverse?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the question from Guy Hacker, which I genuinely appreciate, is will there be malware in the metaverse? My initial thoughts are yes, definitely. But I think it qualifies. Well, we should qualify that, Guy. Like, I don't think it's going to be like the Johnny Lee Miller Hackers movie where like all of a sudden there's like a giant Pac-Man eating this auditorium and we're like running for our lives and stuff like that. If you think about the way that the tech stacks are, right? Because I mean, you're going to have to write malware essentially to kind of take advantage of tech. There's going to be the headset, right? So you could compromise the headset, as I mentioned in attack number 4, and exploit it that way, which I said denial of service for the attack, but you could easily imagine hacking someone's augmented reality glasses, and then instead of doing screen capping, right, you're doing their camera feed capping, and since they're literally using it to look everywhere they're looking and be able to go into every space that they're going in, you would be able to take advantage of that. So that's one piece of malware that I could see right there on the headset to basically spy, essentially. Now, I could also see malware being written in order to attack the kind of the IT infrastructure that supports the platforms in the metaverse. This one would be a little bit more complicated, obviously, because you'd have to get in there and you'd have to understand how to take advantage of it. But I could see using ransomware as an example. You can buy digital property in the metaverse, right? So someone bought, what was it, a couple months ago, like a $400 million, $100 million super yacht or something like that. Now, if you stole that,
Snoop Dogg.
Say that again?
Yes. Snoop Dogg, he bought a virtual land in the metaverse.
Hey, can you come a little closer? Spatial audio's on it, and you're way in the back. It's hard to hear you.
Okay, I mean, Snoop Dogg, are you hearing me? Snoop Dogg is an American rapper. He bought $500 million of virtual land in the metaverse.
Yeah, exactly. So Snoop Dogg, he said Snoop Dogg spent $500 million on real estate in the metaverse. I agree 100%. And so this is where malware comes in. What if you wrote malware that, because, okay, so real quick to preface this, Bored Ape Yacht Club, one of the perks of being in the Bored Ape Yacht Club is when you have one of their NFTs, you are able to access a special space in the metaverse that you can only enter if you hold one of those NFTs in your wallet. Okay. So we are able to restrict and allow access to assets and spaces in the metaverse using NFTs, right? So Snoop Dogg buys this $500 million piece of property. I could imagine a situation where you steal his property from him essentially and ransom it back to him. And you, like, if you just like to see the world burn, you can just take it, right? And then who cares? Or, I guess it depends on how the real estate is actually built in the metaverse, but I could see another kind of situation where you redefine the specifications and the parameters of that parcel in the metaverse, right? So you own this piece of land and that, or, whatever, quote unquote land, but the land is like, let's say 50 acres of land, to make this easy. And then you redefine it and you have malware that changes it in the backend database from 50 to 0.5. Now, all of a sudden you got a postage stamp for land and you still paid the $500 million, right? So I could see a couple of those use cases. What about you?
Me, I see more malware being, for example, because you say that they will use cryptocurrency, so people will be impersonating other avatars to steal the cryptocurrency. But I see more like they can implement it. They would like to automate it, and then comes malware where they can steal those NFT or those Bitcoin wallet without the avatar knowing. This is what I see, but I don't know how they will implement it. But I see some use case like that in the metaverse.
Yep. Yeah. So Guy, and so I'll respond to that, and then I'll take another question. So Guy said he could see AI being leveraged to basically straight rob people, and that definitely makes sense, Guy. We're seeing that in the NFT space with bots going on Twitter, Discord, and Telegram, and basically automating DMs. And when you click through them, they basically execute their scripts and steal, currency out of your wallet or empty your wallet, steal your NFTs, etc. Thank you for the question.
Yes.
Hey, BSEC, you got a question? Oh boy, your audio sounds rough, man. I don't know if anyone else hears that or if it's just me. Oh, so sorry, BSEC.
BSEC is AI.
Yeah, BSEC, you definitely sound like you are in the Matrix. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, friend. If you want to message me in Discord, I do have Discord mod chat up in Discord, and I can peek under my lens if you keep it a succinct question. Wow, I love it. The question in the back? No? Reggie Davis, your avatar looks awesome, by the way. Really awesome. Base, yours is great too. Also, Max, love it, love it. Chris Weaver, good to see you. KD would like to unmute.
Thanks.
Yes, let's unmute KD. Oh, it's kind of like Clubhouse. Hold on one second. There we go. KD, where are you, KD? KD, I see you up in the back looking at the painting. You just asked to unmute. You got a question? Okay. KD is staring at my daily cyber threat briefing poster, so I'm not sure. Yes, Jess Bishop, you got a question?
Yeah, I was thinking with this. Can you picture any physical attacks coming from this? I don't know what kind of like safety mechanisms they have built into the VR sets, but I would think that possibly through light or sound, they could use it for physical attacks.
Oh, that's really interesting. So wow. Are you talking about like perhaps detecting someone could suffer from epilepsy and then just do a targeted flashing screen on them? And since they have the headset on their eyes, they can't necessarily look away, like that kind of attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that totally is interesting. Obviously, when I think of like different types of attacks and cybersecurity and stuff like that, I kind of think macro level picture. But like we saw in Hollywood, where they attacked the pacemaker of a politician in order to kill them, you could see a very very targeted attack. If you knew your target did suffer from epilepsy, for example, and you wanted to get in there. Another, I guess, physical attack that I could easily imagine is, I mean, well, it's not really a physical attack in that way. Like, so there are safety mechanisms where you have the like a border, right? Some of you here are wearing Oculus Quests. Some of you are wearing headsets. You define a safety border around you, and it's essentially designed to protect you from walking into the wall, walking down a flight of stairs by accident, stuff like that. You know, it would almost be like a happen chance attack, but you could, you know, turn off those safety mechanisms, if you will, in order to, you know, dupe someone into walking into a physical space that actually could cause damage. I could see that. Also, you could do you could overheat the headset, although, I mean, obviously someone would be able to take it off before it actually caused damage. But you could physically, if you were going for like an availability attack, Jess, you could melt someone's headset. I mean, obviously, the technology would fail before the headset would physically melt, but I could see that as another opportunity. And then real quick, since you got me thinking about it, Jess, another kind of interesting concern around privacy that I had mentioned a little bit earlier without going too deep is all of the data that they're tracking, right? Where I'm going, whether it's physically going or it's in the metaverse, quote unquote, physically going. If I'm frequenting areas of interest that don't align with the overall ideals of the ruling government that I am a citizen of, that information could be siphoned right out and sent directly to law enforcement or the ruling party, if you will, in order to get me round up, basically, right? It's pinging exactly where I am. It is showing them like where I am physically standing in three-dimensional real life. It shows where I've attended in the metaverse. So like we saw that, the reason that even came to my mind, there was a study, I want to say in 2013, by Synac. Colby Moore did this research, and Patrick Wardle. You might have to fact check me on the date. I think it was 2013. And basically, they looked at the Grindr app, which is very much like Tinder, but it's for men looking for men. And in the country of Egypt, homosexuality is not legal. And basically, law enforcement, or whatever you want to call it, the ruling government in Egypt was able to exploit these vulnerabilities that they had discovered also in order to identify users of the Grindr app and then ultimately apprehend them. And then, you know, not great stuff happening after that. So you do have to be mindful of that. Privacy in VR is not really, there's no rules, there's no governance. Big tech isn't being forced by anything. GDPR is a sovereign law within the you know, United or Europe, right? We aren't in Europe right now. We're in this like weird ether, right? So the laws haven't been written, and that's part of the reason why the privacy is so concerning. Thank you for the question, Jess. Any other questions from the audience?
Hello, are you getting me?
Yeah, I hear you, Guy.
Okay, do you think it will be easy to impersonate avatar? For example, if I pretend to be you, but I try to copy your avatar, do you think it is easy in the metaverse?
All right, so just so if I understand your question, is it easy to duplicate someone's avatar? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think, so my avatar right now, the guy you're looking at, you know, I kind of, you know, for better or worse, did drop a photo into Spatial, this platform that we're using right now, to create my avatar. So this is a unique kind of one-of-a-kind avatar. Many of you have similar looking avatars, but they're all unique. What's up, Katie? So it would be difficult to create one just like mine. However, the composition of my avatar is clearly stored somewhere on the, this is ridiculously funny. So it's clearly stored somewhere on some server. You'd have to get access to it. I don't like it's technically, I'm not sure how you would do it, but the fact that this is just a configuration tied to my profile, you know, I think it would be rather, I don't want to say trivial, but functionally in kind of a copy paste or an export of the avatar, because it really is just a spec for a profile. But I could see that being part of that business avatar compromise attack I said earlier, and like to relay it to business email compromise. Sometimes, yeah, you break into the CEO's account or they break into my spatial account and they log in as me and then they go into the metaverse as me. And that's going to look spot on like my avatar, obviously, because it is my avatar. But nothing prevents in business email compromise, nothing prevents them from just sending an email from, guyhacker@gmail.com and changing the send to say CEO at, business, right? So, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's possible that you duplicate the avatar instead of compromise the account, but I don't know what kind of functionality that would be. I'd almost wonder if there would be like an exposed API call that wasn't documented that would allow you to copy and paste the profile, quote unquote profile, if you consider your avatar part of your profile, the way that we consider online, like Facebook, like our Facebook profile photo is part of our Facebook avatar. Thank you, Guy.
Yes.
What's up, Andy? Good to see you. My good friend Andy McGuire in the front over here. Good to see you, my man. Good. All right. Any other questions? Cyber Insight Canada. How are we doing on time? I think we're getting pretty close. 4:43. It's about a 45-minute, 30-minute talk Q&A for 15. I think this was pretty good. Guys, I want to thank you very much. You're welcome to stay as long as you'd like and pop and lock around. But my name's Gerald Auger. If you're interested, come on by Simply Cyber more often. We're doing InfoSec stuff here, people. Thanks, Base, for the help. Want to thank my wife and 2 kids for their technical support on the back end.
Jerry, I got a BSEX comment now.
You got a what, bud?
I got BSEX comment that he was going to say.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you're welcome to stay. I'm going to answer BSEX comment because it's come in. And feel free to mill around, play around. This is a safe space. This is my virtual space. So, everything's cool in here. Yeah, go ahead, Base.
So he said that this sounds like something that happens in video games where people will build up worlds and then someone will come in with a hack and tear them down or hold them for ransom.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point. We saw that in Ultima Online way back in the day, World of Warcraft. The thing is, this is what you guys really should take away. Anytime there is real value associated to anything, criminals will find a way to get it, right? So the metaverse is no different. It didn't, it's kind of like a fringe thing. But now when there's real money attached to it, real money to assets, like Guy Hacker mentioned, $500 million for a piece of land, right? You go in and just steal that land or erase that land or, like I could even imagine like a silly attack. Things are going to happen like this where, you buy, so Snoop Dogg owns a $500 million piece of land, but you buy the land 1 centimeter directly above his land, right? And now, yeah, he owns that 2-dimensional plot of land, and we don't really think about it in 3D in reality, right? In 3D space, when you buy a yard, you own the vertical airspace above the yard up to a certain point, right? Well, in the metaverse, there's no reason that Meta or whoever couldn't also sell slices of that vertical. So now Snoop can't build, a rap pavilion on his property because he doesn't own anything north of 1 centimeter off the ground, right? And that's just like me shooting from the hip as far as, some complications that could certainly come up from this. It's worth noting during my research too, there have been legal cases brought forward in real life court. A Pennsylvania lawyer actually brought forth a case because of some stolen digital assets in Second Life. There's also been instances where people who are making basically like custom clothes in one of these metaverse environments, somebody was selling like essentially knockoff Gucci bags at the street corner. And there's no laws right now really governing what's going on in this space. So that business that was getting their gear merch ripped off basically went, shoot, hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, hold on. That was a water bottle. Okay, I think we're good though. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Basically, I was just saying that there's been multiple instances of cases that have gone to court in real life because of digital quote unquote civil crimes in the metaverse. Thank you. Thank you. My wife giving me a solid assist on that. Yep. So you're 100% right. And again, guys, I would just encourage you to look at what has worked in the past, and that's what's going to happen again. Like, yeah, there's occasionally like new novel attacks and techniques and stuff like that, kind of like the business avatar compromise. That's a new spin, but it's an old attack. Threat actors, they have a playbook and they've been very effective at executing on it. So why would they come up with why would they reinvent the wheel? You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to take the headgear off and step away from this space. But if you guys if you enjoyed it, let me know. Reach out either on LinkedIn or Discord or YouTube or whatever. Let me know if this is something you guys dig. Maybe I do a VR talk, once a month or what. I don't know. Let me know, though. Let me know. Thank you very much for your time. Genuinely appreciate it. Be good. All right, let me see if I can bring this full circle to my YouTube community here. Sweating my butt off. Holy jeez. All right. So guys, that was 5 cyber attacks that will definitely happen in the metaverse. So guys, that was. Oh, hold on one second. Let me. Hold on one second. This is messed up. Let me do this. Okay, good. Oh, did you guys? How long was that sitting there? Let's do that. All right, I am looking at chat right now. So I can see you and hear you, Ms. Julian, Reggie Davis. Reggie, was that a custom avatar or not? Because that avatar looked awesome. Kimberly, good to see you. Thank you. Chris, I saw you in there. That was really nice. Your arms were so funny, Jerry, like a ragdoll. Yeah. Well, it's because I wasn't holding the paddles. I was like, it can detect my hands, but it does get really hot in there. Whew. Saw my good friend Andy McGuire join. Andy, I haven't seen him in a minute. It was nice to catch up with him. Yeah, Chris, I can share that. I've got it all distilled and my notes remixed and stuff like that, so I can definitely share that with you if you want. I just got to find a good way to export it because I do use Notion for all my stuff. So let's see what else we got. 45 people in here, guys. I hope. Oh wait, I'm so dumb. I was running this. Gosh, I made these captions and stuff. This is when you don't have a production crew to be able to help you. I forgot. So sorry that thing was running across the bottom the whole time. Thank you, Stella. It was nice to see you in chat. Very nice. Oh gosh, that was nice. So would you guys think as a platform, as an idea, does VR symposiums work? Thank you. Oh yeah, I love it. I love that you can clap. I love that you can engage a little bit. I do appreciate that only for a hot minute did I have 2 avatars come up and stand up on me. I was kind of concerned that might be a thing. Fortunately, it wasn't. So that was pretty good. All right, guys. I gotta boogie out of here, but let me see. All right, so Steve Ball thinks it'd be better if I didn't do it in VR. Okay, Steve, thank you. Definitely good feedback. I thought it was just very meta to talk about meta in the meta. Non-spatial audio for Q&A. Yep, yeah, definitely need to turn that off. Were you guys able to hear the questions? I did repeat the questions when the person asked, but I'd be curious how that... Thank you. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you enjoyed the talk. I was really excited about doing it. You know, it's one of those ones like, let's just lean into it first and see what happens, and then pivot from there. Bass definitely helped me out. I think it makes sense to turn on spatial audio when you're at like an art gallery or something like that. But I think for a speaking lecture series type thing, it makes sense to just have everybody have full audio. And then if someone's being unruly, either mute them or ban them. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about the fact that you were picking up the audio from my seated avatar, not me. Well, I hope that the volume was good enough that you guys could make out my talk today. All right. Well, that's going to do it. I do appreciate it. I will see many of you tomorrow on the daily cyber threat briefing. Thank you for helping me with this experiment, and thank you for your attention and your comments. And I hope you got value out of it. We'll see you at the next one. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Be good, and we'll talk to you another time.